All right, guys, what's up? Doing something a little bit different than normal. We are going live right now, but we are doing it vertically and through the YouTube Shorts feed. So, going to be sitting here chatting about, as always, anything and everything football. When I do this stuff, I'm going to come in here with a topic. And if any of you guys want to get in on the comments section and have your opinion heard, get in the comment and let's get talking about it. But so the topic that I'm going to bring to this matter is all about the rumors circulating Justin Fields. So, of course, we're heading into the off season, and a big shout out to everybody for joining this stream, whether you're live or you're coming in post stream. As always, hit that like button, like the video, always helps us out. And also subscribe to the Coach Plays if you haven't. I wonder if I can put a poll. Yeah, let me do this real quick. Try to put a poll up real quick. And today's poll, we'll just put up there a subscriber poll. As we get into more of these live streams, we'll start doing more live streams on base topics, whether it's NFL, college football, or just anything football in general. We'll put up that poll, and then that'll be a way for you guys to interact. But anyway, so we're getting into this off season, and free agency is going to be pretty big for a lot of teams, as always. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. They got a new head coach. They're going to have to figure out how to rebuild this roster and build it around someone like a Will Levis. But this video is not for Will Levis or anything like that. This video, like I say, we can talk about anything football, but the topic I'm going to bring to the matter is Justin Fields. There's been a lot of craziness going on. Justin Fields is an intriguing one to me, if I'm being honest. When you look at Justin Fields, and if someone's commenting, I'm going to just have to hope that it pops up. When you look at Justin Fields, he's had kind of an up and down career. I'll get in here. We'll start kind of talking about his stats up until this point. Justin Fields career stats. Like, he's got a following for the Chicago Bears. I feel like you're definitely all in on Justin Fields or you're all out. I don't know how many people are kind of teetering on both sides of it. Through his career, he's got a completion percentage of 60.3. He's thrown for 6,674 yards, 40 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. Of course, the 30 interceptions is not a good rate at that click. And he's got a 2.3. I'm going to bring up more of his career stats. I want to show the rushing. As always, we can, let me see here. Yep, we can do that. And then sorry, guys. That took a minute. Anyways, so kind of show you real quick when we're talking about Justin Fields. Talked about his career passing, 578 out of 958 attempts. That gives him a 60.3 completion percentage, 6,674 yards, 40 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, along a 64, and he's got a quarterback rating of 82.3. Rushing, see if we can bring up, trying to see if we can bring up, I don't want recent games. I want more of his, that was 2023. I want the career. Trying to see his career stats. So that's passing. All right, so here we go, rushing. Rushing career. He's got 356 carries, 2,220 yards rushing, 14 total touchdowns. He averages 6.2 yards a carry in his career. So, of course, you know, Justin Fields is a dynamic quarterback. He's more of that type of guy. If he can escape the pocket, he's going to try to do that to the best of his ability. And, you know, highly touted coming out in the draft, in the 2021 draft, round 1, pick 11 to Chicago out of Ohio State. Of course, if you don't know, he was originally committed to Georgia, went and played a year at Georgia, then transferred over into Ohio State. He's 6'3", 228. He's had a lot of ups and downs for Chicago, and there's been times where I felt like he didn't have the best fitting cast around him. Now, Chicago has not been one of these teams that has been relevant for quite some time now, and I didn't know how many pieces they had around him to make him ultimately successful. And of course, they've had a whole lot of issues with coaches and things like that. But it is not all on the coaching staff. It's not definitely all on the outside supporting cast of Justin Fields. There's been countless times that Justin Fields has played pretty careless, turning the ball over. What's up, Channel Princesses? Says hi, everybody. Appreciate you joining the stream. But like Justin Fields, while he is such, I'm trying to think of a way to say it. He's just, it's a package with him, man. And you can get a whole lot of good. When it's going good and you marriage what he can do in the passing game and also what he can do in the rushing attack with his legs, he is that dynamic. I mean, when we're talking about the quarterback position today, whether it's in the NFL or it's in college football or even at the high school level, your most dynamic quarterback is the guy who can make plays in and out of the pocket. I mean, you're not really seeing a whole lot of guys nowadays who all they want to do is throw within the pocket. Like back in the day, that's how you won championships. You needed a quarterback who could stand in there and throw in the pocket. But with how, like, honestly, defenses have just improved and you're constantly having these elite pass rushers at all the time, you got to have a dude back there. You got to have an athlete. So Justin Fields fits that mold, which is why he went high in the draft. He was pick 11. And it's just been a mixed bag for him. And so the big question that like Chicago Bears fans find themselves sitting down and asking is, okay, so they've got this high draft pick. All right, let's look at 2024. I think they got 2 draft pick, NFL draft order. I want to see the order real quick. So, of course, you've got the Bears picking at pick 1. And then you got the Bears picking at pick 9. They are sitting in a situation, a time where they can attack, really change the course of their franchise. Them making that trade with the Carolina Panthers last year has the Bears sitting in a situation where they can absolutely change the foresight of their franchise. They have to make a decision who's going to be that franchise quarterback going forward. And I want to know from you guys what you think. But could you keep Justin Fields? Now, no, he's played 3 years. You're going to get one more year out of Justin Fields, and then the Bears would have to decide on his fifth-year option. I actually believe they've got to decide if they're going to pick up their fifth-year option like within the next month or two, I believe. I think they have to have that in by a certain time. So you're going to have Justin Fields for one more year, then you would pick up his fifth-year option. What's up, Karam? Panthers are probably the worst franchise. Panthers are pretty trash. Guys, as we're talking about Justin Fields, if you want to talk about anything and everything football, you let me know. We're going to chat about it. So if any of you guys want to pop in the chat, you got something to say about one of your favorite teams, we can get off course and we can talk about that. But the main purpose of the stream will be built around the Justin Field rumors and the trade rumors and things like that. Karam says David Tepper is the worst owner in the league by far. That's the thing about the Panthers. They made that trade to go out. They clearly identified Bryce Young is going to be their future. It's hard to build a future around a quarterback when, like, that's it. That's the only piece. The Panthers said, we want Bryce Young. We think he's a franchise quarterback. We're going to mortgage our future, and we're going to go for him. Well, your future is also the assets that you build around Bryce Young. And I thought Bryce Young was a really good quarterback coming out of the draft. I mean, he did a lot of great things at Alabama. Of course, a lot of people want to talk about his height. And is he big enough, strong enough? Does he have strong enough arm to do it at this level in the NFL? I felt like all of those answers were yes. But can he do it with a trash team and, not enough resources around him? That's the biggest issue right now for Bryce Young. And when you're looking at it, if you are a Panthers fan and you're watching this, I would love to know what you kind of think about it. When you look at the future aspect for the Carolina Panthers, how can they get better around Bryce Young? I don't know, because they do not have the pieces around him. I mean, Karam says, look at C.J. Stroud in Houston. Yeah, I'm a Titans fan, so I did not want to see Houston just turn it around and have success like that. And, the big rumor coming into the draft like the day before was that the Titans were going to trade up. They identified that they wanted C.J. Stroud and they were going to go for him. Whoever had that contact let that information leak, and, I think that kind of forced the Texans' hands to go ahead and take him as early as they did. But that is all smoke and mirrors. But, yeah. You got C.J. Stroud, and there's a lot of people out there pre-draft felt like Bryce Young was going to be better than C.J. Stroud. But look at the supporting cast. And that is how quick it can change in the NFL. The Texans were pretty bad before that, but they went out, they got a supporting cast, they've got some really good young receivers, they got a hell of an OC that I feel like is a great play caller and is on the same page with C.J. Stroud. And it was just a perfect marriage. Now, when you look at rookie quarterbacks, the biggest thing is they gotta prove it back in their second year. Defenses, normally these great defense coordinators are going to figure it out, and they are going to find out the ways to attack a young quarterback and make him as uncomfortable. So you normally see either a regression in that second year, or they keep that ball moving, and that's when you normally know, okay, this guy's legit. He's pretty for real. What's up, Carver family? Appreciate you joining. Are you guys heading into the rebuild? Henry will be gone. Talking about the Tennessee Titans. Probably heading into a rebuild for sure. I think they're definitely in it right now. Henry probably will be gone. I think he ends up getting money elsewhere. I think there's a window open for him to return. The biggest thing is, what does that market look like for a Derrick Henry? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you've looked at the free agent running back class, but it is absolutely loaded. It's loaded with running backs. So what does that do for the market for all running backs? And if Derrick Henry is the king of that market, that price tag's going to come down because there's so many really good running backs out there. What's up, Rob? Says, please can show your setup. So, yeah, I'll show my setup. Appreciate everybody joining the stream. As always, guys, hit that like button and subscribe. So we're talking about Justin Fields right now. This is my setup. I've got 3 monitors here. We do a lot of, sport live stream, game watch parties on this channel, and we do a lot of film breakdown and stuff. I'm a high school football coach. But yeah, I got 3 monitor system, 1 to 2 to 3. Got Twitter pulled up right now. Here's my YouTube channel, The Coach Plays. If you're new to it, hit that subscribe button, join it. We are growing this community, guys. But yeah, this is my setup. Got a nice little NZXT GeForce RTX PC. It's been great for me. And then this just kind of lay of the land. All these helmets right here, except for that Texas A&M helmet, you can see these are just a couple no-end ones right here. But I redone these helmets. These were all old high school helmets, and then I repainted them, refurbished them, and bought some decals and made them. So those are 2 of my prized possessions, the Titans and the Oilers. And I'm not a Florida State fan, but I love their helmet, so I made that. But yeah, there you go. Here's my setup right there. But that running back market is going to be pretty extensive as far as how many people is in it. So could Derrick Henry not possibly get the money that he's wanting out there, and could he end up coming back to the Tennessee Titans? Awesome setup. I appreciate it. I love it. That was one thing when we bought this new house, wanted to get right into it and have a nice little setup for A, to watch film during the high school football season, but B, be able to utilize and run the YouTube channel as much as I could. So it's been pretty cool. Appreciate that comment. Carver family says, I don't feel too bad about the rebuild. We have been in such worse shape before. Yeah, here's the thing about, if you're an NFL fan and you're worried about your team going in the rebuild, the NFL can turn very quickly as far as being competitive and, getting to the postseason and getting into the playoffs and things like that. Just look at the Houston Texans. Houston Texans were pretty crappy before last season. They go out, they get the quarterback, they get a defensive piece, they get change the coaching, and boom, bada bing, bada boom. All the pieces start to go in hand. Texans have a big shootout, and they win the AFC South. The year before that, the Jaguars were a bottom feeder in the AFC South. They then get the pieces around to Trevor Lawrence. Next thing you know, they're up there. They win the AFC South 2 years ago. They were competing it for this year. Detroit Lions, once again, is another example of how quickly you can turn it around. So if you are a fan of a team that's looking like they're going into a rebuild, if they make the right decisions, it can turn around fairly quickly. And as a team that, if you're constantly near the top, it can turn around for the worse pretty quickly as well. So you just got to continue to make sure you're making the right personnel decisions and things like that. Biggest thing for the Titans is, will Levis be a franchise quarterback? And ultimately, with the new Brian Callahan, the new head coach, and that general manager over there, they've got to build pieces around him, which is what we're kind of talking about with Justin Fields. Bears have to make a decision on Justin Fields. Are they going to be... Got a new user in the chat, says Texans on top. Big Texans fans in there. What's up? Appreciate you joining the stream. Karam says, don't ask me about the Cowboys. Karam, this is your time to come in here and lay it all on the line for the Cowboys. Reminder, guys, as you pop in, hit the thumbs up. It helps us out. And subscribe to the Coach Plays. We're building this community, doing a lot of sports, anything and everything football related, whether it's rumors, news, or live streams, or film breakdown. I do a lot of film breakdown. So if you want to learn more about the game of football, subscribe to the Coach Plays, and I feel like you get good analysis. I'm a high school football coach. I like to break down film and talk about football. So we're going to try to do more of these live streams, just kind of sit down chats and talk about anything that's kind of hot and trending around football, whether that's high school football, NFL, college, USFL is getting ready to come up. So whatever, anything football, we'll talk about it. Karam says, I don't know what's going all in means in Jerry's book. Mike Zimmer is the right decision for DC. I thought Mike Zimmer hire was a good one. So I'm guessing that Jerry Jones said he's going all in. I thought Jerry Jones basically goes all in every single year. So I would not really know what would really change in that matter. But, I guess we'll have to see. Man, it is for the Dallas Cowboys, it's kind of a put up or shut up type of deal for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott at times looks like an MVP type of quarterback, and then at times he gets pretty small and he just shrinks in the moment. So I don't know. They've got to figure it out. Feel like they had a lot of the pieces there. They still have a lot of their pieces there. I mean, it's not easy to win a Super Bowl. I guess that's what I say. But they at least got to make deep runs. They got to find. They got to find postseason wins. Who did they lose to this year? Were they the team that lost to the Detroit Lions? I'm trying to remember. Or did they lose to the Packers? They might have lost to the Packers. So yeah, like I say, Justin Fields. They're gonna have to make a decision. They've got two really high draft picks. The Bears got the number 1 overall pick, and they got the number 9 overall pick. They could build that around Justin Fields, have him on a cheap contract, relatively cheap for the next 2 years. Go out, if you wanted to pick a elite wide receiver with the first overall pick, you could. Marvin Harrison Jr. is an absolute stud. There's about three legit stud wide receivers that I'd like to see the Titans take. But they could go get Marvin Harrison Jr. with the number 1 overall pick. The issue is I don't really see a whole lot of wide receivers going clearly number 1 overall anymore. That's normally quarterbacks, maybe an elite pass rusher, or just a dude at like the tackle position. You just don't see wide receivers going number 1 overall just because they can be bust a whole lot of times. What's up, Barry? Barry says, "Go Dogs." So if they elect to go with a Marvin Harrison Jr., that's going to be an incredible piece for Justin Fields. Then they've got pick 9. That pick 9 could go to the offensive line, help build and help protect Justin Fields. It could go to another target, you wouldn't take a running back at that time. Or you could trade back from number 9 and accumulate a lot more picks. Or you could trade back from that pick number 1 and accumulate a ton of picks. So they have a scenario where they could actually go all in on Justin Fields and build it around him. But I don't know if they're going to do that. And it's not looking like it's going to be done that way. It's hard when you have the number 1 overall pick in an NFL draft and you don't have a bona fide starter in the NFL. It is hard to pass up on an opportunity to take that franchise quarterback, because if the Bears decide, hey, we're going with Justin Fields, and he has another terrible year next year, and let's say Caleb Williams out of USC, Drake May out of North Carolina, whoever they get taken to, you could even say the LSU quarterback, if they get taken to somebody and they absolutely kill it in their rookie year, I mean, you're talking about a general manager for the Chicago Bears that's going to get fired because you passed up on a chance. You had the number 1 overall pick, and you passed up on a chance to go out and get your franchise quarterback. So I don't see. I hate it for Justin Fields. Like, I like watching him. I'm not a Bears fan, but he hasn't done enough, and I think he's going to find himself on the outs really soon. And I think the Bears are just going to be forced with going and taking a quarterback with that number 1 overall pick. And then it's still at pick 9. You're talking about you can go get you a guy who can protect that quarterback. And they're just hitting the reset button on their franchise. But they've got a chance to change their direction of that franchise. So I want to know what you guys think about Justin Fields. Should they trade him? Should they keep him and build around him? If they should trade him and take a quarterback first, who do you think it should be? There's a lot of, I don't know who's going to be the better quarterback. Caleb Williams, at times, when I watch him in college, my goodness, I think the dude could be one of the next great quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't want to say he's Patrick Mahomes, but he does Patrick Mahomes things. But then he also does some just stupid things that I don't know if he'll ever get it, and I don't know if he'll be a franchise quarterback. So do you want to take a boom or bust with a number 1 overall pick, or do you want to go with someone like Drake May, who a lot of people feel like is probably the most ready NFL quarterback? He's got the big, strong arm. A lot of people compare him to like a Josh Allen, but more accurate. And at the end of the day, you got to be accurate in this league. You got to. What's up, Barry? Says, I'm up in Ohio ATM. They're all swearing it's their this year. It's their year this year. What else is new? Ohio? Who? You talking about Ohio State? Or are you talking about one of like the Bengals or the Browns? Catfish Terry in the house. What's up, Catfish Terry? Carver family says you don't get that number one overall pick often. You don't. So you got to strike when the iron's hot, or you got to trade it for a crap ton of picks. Here's the thing: you say they don't get it very often. The Bears also had the number one pick last year, and they traded it for the Carolina Panthers, and now that's why they're in this situation. And they don't have the number one overall pick based off their record. It's the Panthers' record, which is just, I don't know how the Panthers could ever do it, man. They traded all that. They should have the number one overall pick this year, but they don't. Want to turn this around. Appreciate everybody who's coming in and subscribing. We were at 7,840. We're now up to 7,850. Appreciate you guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Continue to join this community. We are building it together. This is the YouTube channel, The Coach Plays, all things football, news, breakdowns, reaction, and more daily content. Just posted a video today about Russell Wilson's career. Want to know what you guys think. Is his career over? Had a video on Justin Fields yesterday. And then we had a film breakdown of Andy Reid's masterful Super Bowl drive that got them the win. If you like film breakdowns and things like that, go check that out. But I do appreciate everybody who's deciding to subscribe. We're building it. We're getting closer and closer to that 8K mark. So now, Justin Fields, the next question is, where does he go? Talking about trade rumors out there. He won't be able to control it. What's up, Daniel Berry Sports? Says, yo, appreciate you being in here. Where does Justin Fields go? I mean, he doesn't have a choice. He'll end up getting traded. Some trade rumors are out there swirling about the Falcons are interested. I don't think the Falcons are not in a position to select a quarterback high in the draft. So when you're talking about these teams that could be trading for Justin Fields, they're going to be all these teams that don't have a high pick. If they had a high pick, they'd go draft the next franchise quarterback. They're kind of in the middle or late back in the pack, and they're looking to change their path as far as franchise quarterbacks are concerned. What's up, Matt Pekka? Says, what do you think about my Vikings going to do with Cousins? We'll hit on that in just a second. That might be a video coming up because I don't know what they're going to do. I like Cousins. I do. I think, man, he's like a Dak Prescott. At times, he's playing at an MVP level too, but he is older. I don't know exactly how old Cousins is, but he's coming off of an Achilles tear. So is, Aaron Rodgers at that point. That's going to be tough to say. Vikings are not in a position where they can draft a quarterback high. I guess I would need to know, is Cousins in a contract year? Is he going to be a free agent? I don't think he's a free agent. I think the Vikings probably stick it with him one more year, but they probably need to be thinking about drafting that next quarterback for their future. But Falcons, Steelers, and the Raiders are the team that I'm hearing have at least expressed some interest to the Chicago Bears in seeing, where they stand as far as the possibility of trading them. Carver family says Cousins is 35 years old. Yep. Yeah, that's it's going to be tough for him. Coming back from Achilles injury, just have to wait and see, I guess. We'll have to see how that one plays out. I like Cousins. I do. I've always liked him. I think they need to roll it back with him one more year, but they probably need to draft their next quarterback of the future. Karam says Falcons could have traded for Lamar Jackson. They could have, but at the end of the day, they either A, they didn't have that money because they was going to have to pay him, or B, they didn't want to pay him. And I'm in the minority on this. I don't know if Lamar Jackson is worth that much money. I get it. He won the MVP. But what does he do in the postseason? What does he do in the postseason? And the type of style he plays, he better keep knocking on wood and saying and hoping, fingers crossed, that he stays healthy. Because if he ever has an injury, that's going to completely change the way he plays the game. So Grom says he's trying to keep it real as a Cowboys fan. It's a tough situation to be as a Cowboys because you feel like you're just knocking on that door. You just feel like you're knocking on that door. At any moment, you could kick it down and finally break through and potentially get to the Super Bowl. Or at any moment, it could go really south and you may have to break up the entire landscape of how that team is orchestrated. So I get it. I get it as a Cowboys fan. That would where do they go? Where do they go from there? So yeah. So Steelers, Falcons, Raiders potentially reaching out to trade for Justin Fields. All three of those teams I feel like are kind of right there. So when we're talking about what would be the best fit for a Justin Fields, I want to say Raiders, other than you got to play Patrick Mahomes. Anybody in that division, it sucks to be in that division. So you probably take them out. Steelers, good opportunity there. I feel like Mike Tomlin with Justin Fields could be pretty dirty. Now, this is way I think the Steelers attack the quarterback position. Don't be shocked if they go after Ryan Tannehill. Arthur Smith is their new OC. What's up, Blaze Radio in the house? Yo, yo, yo. Appreciate you, Blaze. We're just hanging out here, talking a little bit of football. Appreciate you joining in. They got Arthur Smith as their OC. Don't be shocked if the Steelers sign Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback. Ryan Tannehill's best years as a NFL quarterback came with Arthur Smith as an OC. Do they try to resurrect that marriage? I know Arthur Smith is a big fan of Ryan Tannehill. I could easily see them go after Tannehill, get him on a fairly cheap contract, and just go with that. Remember, they wouldn't have to trade for Ryan Tannehill. He'd be a free agent. If you're trading for Justin Fields, you're going to have to give up some compensation. Don't know what that looks like, but you're going to have to give up some. Blaze says Steelers probably. I forget. Blaze Radio. He popped in at the right times. Blaze Radio is a Steelers fan. Steelers probably won't get any free agent quarterbacks. They're more likely to stick with Pickett and Rudolph backing up. Steelers hardly ever get big name free agents. They could probably prove me wrong. Last big free agent was like Jerome Bettis. Tannehill is the only one I see them possibly grab. I think they grab Tannehill. I'm not a Steelers fan, but from the outside looking in, I don't see how you could possibly go into another year saying it's Rudolph or Pickett. If not, the old saying is if you got two quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks. Pickett is way too inconsistent. There's times where it's like you see it, like it's there. And then there's times it's like he is a NFL backup. Always. Rudolph, he's a backup. He might be a third string. I don't see how they could possibly. Mike Tomlin, I don't think people are saying his seat's hot, but it's hot, right? Like, there were people talking about he could possibly be out this year. Mike Tomlin's not going to want to go into another year with just Pickett and Rudolph, right? That to me, I'm not a Steelers fan, but that sounds disgusting to be Steelers fans. Tannehill, I don't know how much of a better option he is, but if paired up with Arthur Smith, like, that could be an upgrade for the Steelers. And Tannehill, it's going to be like the Tennessee Titans a few years ago. You're orchestrating your offense built to run the ball, play really good defense, and have Tannehill manage it. And if he does that, could be good things for the Steelers, if I'm being honest. Fields would be fun, but they have to give up too much, and they have other big needs. Blaze Radio says, I like Deuce Vaughn, Karam. Blaze said, I agree. Pickett hasn't done it at all, and Rudolph is a backup, but Pitt journalists are saying stay with those two. Gosh, I just think that's the wrong thing to do. I mean, I don't think that's exciting at all if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Need a running back somehow in the draft or something. Cowboys can easily get a running back. A, look at the free agent market. It's loaded down with people. Or B, just go draft you one in the later rounds. I mean, you can get running backs. It's all about how you utilize them, and you can strike gold for pennies on the dollar. Mike Tomlin will be done when he's ready. He's a legend and earned it. He will be the most tenured coach in the league. It's no losing seasons for 20 years is wild. That's an incredible stat. Incredible stat. I was watching you live during a Steelers game late in the year with another Steelers buddy, and he was just losing it, said they need to fire him and all this stuff, and I could not stand listening to that guy because it's like, man, okay, fire your coach. You'll probably, Steelers have been very blessed. Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Fire your coach, and you might then see how hard it is to get a good football coach. Like, be careful what you wish for. That guy was killing me. He said, I'm not excited. It's not exciting at all to keep the quarterbacks we have. I definitely agree. Yeah, for sure. So Ryan Tannehill could be. That's the biggest thing about Justin Fields is what's the price tag? What would be the price tag for them to go out and trade for Justin Fields? Justin Fields might could do some good thing in Pittsburgh. Where I see Justin Fields' best landing spot is the Atlanta Falcons. If the Atlanta Falcons choose to trade for Justin Fields, I feel like he would have a great relationship with Raheem Morris. They're going to change that up over there. So change up the quarterback. Desmond Ridder is not a starting quarterback in my opinion. I think he's a very good quality backup quarterback, but he's not a starting quarterback, at least at this point, probably ever. You go out and get Justin Fields, feel like that could change it up. But the biggest reason why I think it could be very beneficial for him to go to the Atlanta Falcons is just look at the division. Tampa Bay, they're okay. They've got to make a decision on their quarterback. That's another video for another day. I like Baker Mayfield, think he deserves another chance. Carolina Panthers, we've talked about them. They have no one to put around Bryce Young. And then the New Orleans Saints, like, who are they? I believe they're going with their head coach again. The New Orleans Saints are a win a game, lose a game type of team. Win a game, lose a game, middle of the road pack. That division is up for grabs. If Atlanta goes and gets Justin Fields, you pair him with the running back they had, Bijan Robinson. They got London Drake, I believe that's his name. They've got Pitt, the tight end out of Florida. They've got pieces over there. They just got to have the right direction. They need the right quarterback. Justin Fields has a lot of issues, but change of scenery could be really good. I think that's his best fit is if the Atlanta Falcons decide to trade for him. Crom says Blaze kept saying people blame the coach or on injuries. Blaze Radio says Chuck Noll, Cal, Tomlin, 3 coaches since 1969. That doesn't happen in sports. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, that's a rarity. They've been very blessed, and they've been lucky to have such great coaches. Blaze also says, you're right, RQ. 2 things you cannot control, so why complain about it? Injuries and referees, I get why people complain about it, but all the time, it won't change anything. I mean, injuries are just part of the game. And as far as refs are concerned, you're going to get that at every level. You get that at college, and we get it at the high school level. We get extremely frustrated at times when we feel like we've been done wrong by calls. And it's tough in the moment. But at the end of the day, they're human beings. That's the roughest part. I can't stand hearing people talk about the NFL's rigged. It's not rigged. Gosh, that's so stupid. But at the end of the day, thank you. At the end of the day, they're just human beings and they're going to make bad calls. So crap happens, I guess. So yeah, that's about it. That's kind of my 2 cents on the matter as Thunder fan and when I watch the games, but some calls I call out. Yeah, I get it. Even Pee Wee basketball. Carver family, yep. Even Pee Wee basketball referees have bad games. So I'm going to pop this over here real quick. That's our live standing of subscriber count, guys. Jump on board, hit that subscribe button, and join the community of the Coach Plays. This is the YouTube channel, all things football, news, breakdowns, reactions, and more daily content. We're getting closer and closer to 8K, posting videos almost every day, film breakdown stuff. And if you are also interested, I think I'm going to create a playlist very soon since we are in the off season. We're going to be doing news and kind of like topics like I just posted about Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Need to start to dive into some draft prospects and also dive into college football as well. But I think I'm going to create a playlist called Football 101 and dive into the fundamentals of, scheme, schematics, formations, shifts, motions, all that stuff. Just Football 101, an opportunity to learn about the game from a coach's perspective and just learn more about it. Maybe getting ready to do that. So if you like that content, if you feel like you would enjoy learning more about football, I'm going to be posting some of those videos. That way, when you hear broadcasters saying this or that, like a 5 technique, a 4 technique, a 1 technique, a 4-eye, a 2-eye, a 3-eye, a 7, a 9, then you would know. So be on the lookout for that stuff. Matt says, I don't know. I said that the Chiefs were going to win when they started to put the Swiftie character out. Gosh. Yeah. They showed Taylor Swift quite a bit. So, but yeah, guys, we hopped on here for 41 minutes. I think we're gonna do a lot more of these live streams like this, just kind of chilling, hanging out, talking football. May have some guests on here. So I appreciate you guys coming on here and just hanging out and talking. Crom says Mahomes is the next GOAT. That's probably another video we need to talk about. I did have a video talking about 5 mind-blowing records that Patrick Mahomes has, and people got like so pissed when I said Patrick Mahomes is on track to become the greatest quarterback of all time. They thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life. It was like, how could you compare 3 Super Bowl titles to 7? I'm like, I'm not saying he's the GOAT now, but he is on track. And if he stays on that track, watch out. Might want to hit you up about something. Where's the best place to contact you, bro? Twitter, if you got me on Twitter. But yeah, just hit me up on Twitter. And honestly, like, Blaze, I'll give you my phone number and we'll just text or anything like that. Like, I don't mind doing that. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter, the Coach Plays, or Colt Carver, Coach Carver. That's my personal Twitter. So just DM me on that stuff. But yeah, guys, gonna hop off. Appreciate you all hopping on. It was fun. Till next time, stay humble, stay kind. Peace. I'm new to this, so I've got to figure out how to end the stream. So we're hanging out just for a little bit more. How do I end it? Do I hit the X? Are you sure you want